If you are watching this, you probably have a knot in your stomach every time you tap your banking app. You know the feeling. You tap the icon, you squint your eyes, and you pray, there's enough money left to cover the thing you just bought. This video is not about how to make £1 million. It's not about drop shipping or crypto or waking up at 4 a.m. It is about something much more important, how to stop bleeding. See, on forums like Reddit, everyone asks, how do I make more money? But nobody asks, why does the money I already have disappear so fast? We are going to spend the next 15 minutes fixing the foundation of your life. Because right now, you aren't broke because you're stupid. You're broke because you are fighting a psychological war against your own brain, and you are losing. Let's talk about the ostrich effect. This is the single biggest reason people stay in the overdraft trap for years. When we are stressed about money, our cortisol levels spike. Our brain enters fight or flight mode, but you can't fight a bank account and you can't run away from debt. So your brain chooses a third option, freeze. You bury your head in the sand. You stop checking your balance. You stop opening your mail. You ignore the notifications. It feels better in the moment, right? Ignorance is bliss. But while your head is in the sand, your financial life is being eaten alive. The subscriptions you forgot about are draining you. The overdraft fees are stacking up daily. The small purchases are compounding. You are bleeding out and you refuse to look at the wound because looking at it hurts. The first step to fixing this, and I mean really fixing it, not just putting a plaster on it, is aggressive clarity. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Most people think budgeting is about restriction. They think it means saying no to fun. That is wrong. Budgeting is actually about permission. It is about knowing exactly how much you can spend without guilt. Right now, when you buy a coffee or a video game, you feel guilty, don't you? Even if you have the money, you feel a little pinch of, should I have bought that? That guilt exists because you don't know your safe number. You are guessing, and when you guess, you are always stressed. So here's the hard truth that nobody wants to admit. You're not poor because of that one night out. You're stuck because you're operating in a fog. To escape the broke trap, we have to turn the lights on. It's going to be scary for about 10 minutes, but I promise you the anxiety of knowing is way less than the anxiety of guessing. In this video, I am going to walk you through a system that doesn't require you to be a math genius or an accountant. It just requires you to be brave enough to look at the numbers for 5 minutes. We are going to move from ostrich finance to traffic light finance. Green means go and red means stop. Because if you can't manage 1,000 pounds, you will never be able to manage 10,000 pounds. Let's start with the money you have right now.
Now, let's look at the math. And don't worry, I promise this isn't calculus. It is actually just subtraction. But it is subtraction that 90% of people, and definitely 99% of students, get wrong. We have been trained to look at one number, the current balance. You open your banking app, Face ID scans, and boom, 1,200 pounds. Your brain sees that green number and releases dopamine. I have money. I am safe. I can buy that 40 pounds hoodie. But that number is a lie. That number is current liquidity. It is not disposable income. The bank app doesn't care that your rent comes out on Tuesday. It doesn't care that your phone bill is due on Friday. It just shows you the pile of cash sitting there right now. This is why you feel rich on payday and broke 3 days later. You are making decisions based on a number that is hallucinating. To fix this, we have to separate survival math from growth math. Most financial gurus on YouTube are trying to teach you growth math. They talk about compound interest, index funds, and buying rental properties. That is useless to you right now. Trying to invest when you don't know if you can afford groceries is like trying to put a new roof on a house that is currently on fire. We need to master survival math. Survival math is simple: income minus commitments. Commitments are not just bills you have paid. They are bills you will pay before the next time you get money. If you have 1,200 pounds in the bank, but your rent is 600 pounds and your bills are 200 pounds, you do not have 1,200 pounds. You have 400 pounds, that 800 pounds difference? That is not your money. That is the landlord's money. It is just visiting your account. This sounds obvious, right? But be honest, how often do you actually do this calculation before you spend? Most people do vibe-based budgeting. You look at the balance, you catch a vibe that you have enough money, and you tap the card. But vibes don't pay overdraft fees. Math does. The moment you spend £1 from that committed pile, that rent money, you have started the bleeding. You have technically already borrowed money, you just haven't paid the fee yet. This is the broke trap. You spend money that is already spoken for, then when the bill actually hits, you have to use an overdraft or a credit card to cover it. Now you are paying interest on your own rent. You are paying to use your own money. So, here is the rule. This is the only rule that matters for the next 30 days. Stop looking at your bank balance. It is poison. You need to find your true safe spend. Your true safe spend is the only number allowed to dictate your life. It is current cash, upcoming bills before next payday. If that number is 50 pounds, then you are rich with 50 pounds. You can spend that 50 pounds on whatever you want, guilt-free. If that number is negative 50 pounds, you are in a crisis. Even if your bank app says you have 1,000 pounds, seeing a negative number before you spend is how you stop the bleeding. It switches a red light on in your brain. It stops the vibe-based spending dead in its tracks. Okay, so we have established that your brain is bad at math when it's stressed. We have established that your banking app is lying to you. So, how do we fix it? We stop relying on willpower. Willpower is a muscle. It gets tired. By 8 p.m. on a Friday, after a long week of lectures or shifts, your willpower is dead. That is when you order the takeaway. That is when you buy the rounds. You cannot trust your Friday night brain to make good financial decisions. You need a system that makes the decision for you. I call this the traffic light system. It is binary. It is black and white. There is no maybe. In aviation, pilots have a go/no-go decision speed. If they don't hit a certain speed by a certain point on the runway, they abort. They don't think about it. They don't hope it works out. They just stop. You need a go/no-go number for your money. Here is how the traffic light works. You need a single dashboard, not an app with a million charts, just a simple dashboard that takes your income and subtracts your bills. It spits out one number. If that number is positive, you have a green light. If that number is negative, you have a red light. This sounds too simple to work, but that is why it works. When you are in the red, you are in wartime. Wartime rules are different. In wartime, you don't buy coffee, you don't get an Uber, you don't go to the pub. You sit at home, you eat pasta, and you wait. You don't have to feel guilty about it because the system told you to. It's not I am poor. It is the light is red. It removes the emotion. It isn't a moral failure. It's just a red light. You wait for it to turn green. And here is the magic part. When the light is green, you are free. This is the part nobody tells you. Budgeting isn't just about saving. It's about spending without anxiety. If your traffic light says you are 50 pounds in the green, go spend that 50 pounds. Go to the cinema. Buy the drinks. Order the pizza. Do it with zero guilt. Do it with a smile on your face. Why? Because you know the rent is paid. You know the bills are covered. You have mathematically proven that this 50 pounds is yours to burn. That feeling, that is financial peace. It's not having £1 million. It's eating a pizza knowing that your landlord isn't going to evict you because of it. This system automates your willpower. You don't have to stand at the bar wondering, can I afford this? You already checked the light before you left the house. If it was green, yes. If it was red, you didn't go out. You make the decision once, when you are calm and looking at your tracker, so you don't have to make 20 stressful decisions when you are out with friends. This is how you stop the bleeding. You stop guessing and start following the lights. In the next section, I'm going to show you how to handle the unexpected. Because even with a green light, life loves to throw a brick through your window. Okay, so you have your traffic light. You are checking it. You are stopping on red and going on green. But then, life happens. Your laptop screen cracks. Your car needs a new tire. You get invited to a birthday dinner you can't say no to. This is where most people quit budgeting. They say, well, I tried, but this unexpected thing ruined it, so what's the point? And they go back to ignoring their bank account. The problem isn't you. The problem is the advice you've been given about emergency funds. Every guru tells you, you need 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up. That is terrible advice for someone who is currently broke. Telling a student with 50 pounds to save 5,000 pounds is like telling someone who can't run a mile to go run a marathon. It's demotivating. You fail before you start. We are not going to build an emergency fund yet. That is a luxury for later. Right now, we're going to build a Life Happens Fund. This is different. An emergency fund is for job loss. A Life Happens Fund is for the stupidity of reality. It is a small, accessible pot of money, maybe just 100 pounds or 200 pounds. Its only job is to stop you from using your overdraft when life punches you in the face. Because here's the trap. When you use your overdraft for an emergency, you are paying interest on your bad luck. You are making the bad thing more expensive. The Life Happens Fund is your shield. It takes the hit so your main bank balance doesn't have to. So, how do you fill it when you have no money? You skim the green. Remember the traffic light? If it says you have 50 pounds safe spend for the week, take 5 pounds, just 5 pounds. Move it to a separate pot called Do Not Touch. Do that for 10 weeks. You have 50 pounds. It sounds slow. It sounds pathetic. Do it anyway. The psychological power of having some money that isn't for bills is massive. It changes your identity. You stop being a person who is always broke and start being a person who has backup. When your tire blows out and you can pay for it with cash without going into the red, you will feel like a superhero. I'm not joking. It is the best feeling in the world. This fund is not for saving up for a holiday. It is not for a new PlayStation. It is for peace of mind. It sits there, doing nothing, just staring at you. And every time you look at it, your cortisol levels go down. You sleep better knowing there is 100 pounds sitting between you and disaster. Stop trying to save 10,000 pounds. Start by saving your own sanity. Get the traffic light system running. Skim the green, build the shield. In the final part of this video, I'm going to show you how to automate all of this so you never have to use a spreadsheet again. We are going to put your financial survival on autopilot. We have covered the psychology. We have covered the math. We have covered the Life Happens Fund. Now, you have a choice. You can take everything I just said and try to build a system yourself. You can open a blank Excel sheet. Try to figure out the formulas for safe spend. Try to color code it so it turns red when you're in danger, and try to maintain it every single day. Or, you can just download the brain that I already built. I didn't create the Student Money Safety Tracker because I wanted to start a business. I created it because I was terrified. I was tired of the 3 a.m. panic. I was tired of guessing. So I built a tool that thinks for me. This isn't a complex app that asks for your bank login details. It isn't a subscription that drains another 10 pounds a month from you. It is a simple, automated dashboard. You type in your income once. You type in your bills once. And for the rest of the month, you just open it, look at the color, and close it. It takes 5 seconds. Green light, go live your life. Red light, stay home. Orange light, be careful. It calculates your true safe spend automatically. It subtracts your rent before you even see the money. It protects you from yourself. The cost? It is less than a single Domino's pizza. It is less than 2 coffees. Think about that trade. For the price of a takeaway that you will forget in 20 minutes, you can have a system that protects you from overdraft fees for the rest of your time at university. One overdraft fee is usually 15 pounds or 20 pounds. This tracker is half that price. If this tool saves you from just one overdraft charge in the next 3 years, it has paid for itself twice over. That is the best return on investment you will ever see. So, here is the reality. Tomorrow you are going to wake up. You are going to check your phone. You are going to check your bank app. You can either do it with the same knot in your stomach, the same fear, and the same guessing game. Or you can wake up, look at your safety tracker, see a green light, and breathe. Financial peace isn't for rich people. It is for organized people. Stop guessing. Stop bleeding. Click the link in the description, download the tracker, and turn the lights on. I'll see you on the inside.